and welcome to the SciFirst MovieTalk episode. In this episode, I'll be discussing one of my own personal childhood favourite movies, the delectable cartoon cavalcade that is 1988's Who Framed Roger Rabbit, as directed by Robert Zemeckis and based loosely on the 1981 novel Who Censored Roger Rabbit, never heard of that one, by Gary K. Wolfe. The movie combines both live action and animation to bring us a story set in 1947, around the time of the golden age of Hollywood, in a world where cartoon characters, or toons as they are affectionately known, actually live and work alongside humans. So we are introduced to down-on-his-luck private eye Eddie Valiant, as played by Bob Hoskins, who, along with his brother, used to be at the top of their game, helping humans and toons alike. That is, until sadly a toon killed his brother by doing what toons do, dropping a piano on his head. Eddie has never forgiven toons for that and can't let go of the past, and as a result can't move forward. Now kind of stuck in a never-ending cycle of booze, sleaze and destitution. Eddie is, however, hired by studio executive R.K. Maroon, as played by Alan Tilvern, to spy on the wife of a toon, suspecting she is playing away in order to get him to concentrate on his work more, but in the process kind of unwittingly becomes embroiled in a plot to frame the said toon. None other than Roger Rabbit, of course, as voiced by Charles Fleischer, for the murder of Marvin Acme, as played by Stubby Kaye, following knowledge of his wife's betrayal. What then ensues is a case of murder, misadventure and greed, as both Eddie and Roger head deeper into a mystery that starts to unfold around them, as they attempt to clear Roger's name, uncovering a dastardly plot to take control of Toontown in the process. The stakes, they've never been higher, as the two overcome their differences to do what's right, to save the day and get the girl. So this movie has a real interesting concept that could have gone wrong on so many levels, but in the end it became a real testament to the devotion of the people involved to bring us such a spectacle, crossing the boundaries between live action and animation at a time, to be honest, when the use of green screens and CGI would have been almost unheard of, yet, forming something of such a special quality that it still continues to impress and stand up even to this day. So it kind of sets up this old school kind of detective agency film vibe, if you like. It almost has like a moody come film noir style about it. Certainly kind of very Dick Tracy-esque. The old 39 Steps and that kind of thing. And all of that, which gives the movie a very distinctive edge for its time. And that's without the addition of the toons. And so in that, the animation in this movie is simply superb. And the mix with the live action characters is out of this world for its time. And still to this day is just so believable. The film really does make you believe as the viewer that these characters actually exist in this world. And indeed it is very clear with the kind of the numerous kind of little details that the animators, that they've kind of really gone out of their way to ensure that everything is as seamless as possible. In fact, they accomplish, in my eyes, a feat that with this movie that many really do fail to replicate, even with today's supercomputers. There is just kind of something real kind of honest about its production. It is indeed an absolutely smorgasbord filled with toons, and not from any one particular studio either, which is one of the most remarkable things to note about this film's production. It is actually the accumulation of an absolutely unheard of alliance between Warner Brothers and Disney, and indeed a number of other studios too along the way, such that it is about the only place, I think it is the only place, you can get to see Daffy Duck and Donald Duck duke it out over a piano concerto, or indeed Mickey Mouse on a grift with Bugs Bunny as they offer Bob Hoskins a hokey parachute. Both scenes are absolutely priceless, and there is plenty more to feast your eyes upon, and I don't just mean Jessica Rabbit. Although, I must admit, the way that she's been animated, together with Kathleen Turner's kind of husky voice, makes this a dame to kill for sure. There are even cameos from the likes of Woody Woodpecker, Betty Boop, and a whole host of other cartoon characters from yesteryear, many of which, including many of the favourites already mentioned, were actually voiced by the original artists, or, at the very least, the artists who had kind of commonly come to known to be voicing for the characters. Some of them had more than one, even Mickey Mouse. That kind of not only make this movie an enthralling adventure, but also a magnificent trip down memory lane and a studio team-up like no other. But the tunes aren't the only one standout element in this film by far. Although playing a game of Guess the Tune, of course, is absolutely fantastic. It's just such great fun. There's just so many to go through. The human element, in fact, namely Bob Hoskins and Christopher Lloyd. Christopher Lloyd, he plays the antagonist in the movie, Judge Doom. They're both simply superb at what they do, and they play the whole thing so straight-laced that it really does just make those tune elements seem all that more crazy and even more hilarious. But indeed, the way that the human actors interface and work with the tunes is absolutely spot on and totally seamless. There are some fantastic cartoon antics, bold and colourful, which are contrasted excellently against the very stark grey of the human world. In fact, with all of this going on in one film, you would be forgiven for thinking that it would be a totally, like this big mismatch of styles, zany antics, and totally impossible situations. And you know what? You'd be right. But this film works at the strengths of each of its perspectives, combining the tune and the real world into something that really does make the whole thing just so believable. It is a fantastic vision of old Hollywood, or at least a version of it, of course. To, you know, the bright lights, the big city, the stars, and the studios. The music, as the usual Robert Zemeckis and Alan Silvestri team-up flair, Alan Silvestri being the composer, it doesn't quite stand out on its own merits for me, as though you can kind of hear remnants of other themes in there. But I did instinctively know that it was Silvestri before I even looked. And I didn't know beforehand, promise. So indeed, it certainly carries his trademark notes, and it is still full of that wide-eyed wonder of their usual collaborative style that will kind of become known as they're going along. And that eager anticipation for what you will gonna get by watching one of their movies. So overall, again, this is simply just a fantastic piece of cinema, which has carried through as one of my firm favourites since childhood. It is a movie which has been expertly crafted to bring two different worlds together on our screen, and indeed, not just between tunes and humans, but also between two movie giants, Warner Brothers and Disney, featuring so many of their beloved characters, and indeed being one of the only places I know of where the two can be seen on screen together. That alone makes this film a treat. It is an absolute spectacle and a real testament to the filmmakers and their desire to bring something that wasn't just entertaining, but also timeless at the same time, with special effects and animation that really have stood the test of time and look absolutely stunning and seamless to this day. At its heart, it is an endearing tale with a good old whodunit twist, combining the craziness of old school cartoons with a mild adult flavour, if you like. So, that brings me to the end of this episode. Many thanks for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like. Please do hit that subscribe button for more movie reviews, trailer reactions, and other movie-related content we have absolutely loved having here at SciFirst MovieTalk, and we would definitely love to have you back. But most of all, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.